But I can't judge him. But if God taps me on and gives me that unction to tell me I'm going to touch him if he will, and I'll give you watch care over his soul, then I just wait on the Lord. That don't mean I sit down. I keep teaching, preaching, telling him what thus said the Lord. But it's up to that individual to accept it. Now the 10th verse, it said, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it has turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy. Now that puts some other folks in here, it's an old leprosy. I mean, they done something dumb and brought the sin back. Now, I didn't mean to get that blunt, but it's telling the truth. Some folks got them living in crack or whatever. Instead of them staying away from them folks that got them hooked in the first place, they go back in there. But we can't judge you. As long as you come back to God, he says if you confess it and you mean it from your heart, I'm faithful and just to forgive it. But don't try to con God. Because God will always let his true prophet or priest know what's going on. I want you to understand, we walk by faith and not by sight. But for some reason, we get at them, throw it out the window. I got to know what's going on. Why? Some of you need to know, hey, all you need to do is what it says in Romans 12, verse 1. I'm going to beseech you today that therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, don't ever forget that. I'm sorry that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. When you come in there, just be obedient to what God puts in your heart. That's all he wants to do is bless you. But she's fine. Well, go ahead and have a nice trip then. Because God has predestined some of them. I keep telling them many times, there's elect in this church. And when you give your heart willing to God, you have the same rights. But here's what God wants. This is how you get rid of all the spots and all the wrinkles. Romans 8:29. Everybody should be familiar with it. For whom he did foreknown, he also what? Predestined. To be what? Conformed to the image of his Son.
Yes, sir.
That he might be the firstborn among many brothers. Moreover, whom he did predestine,
Yes.
them he also called. And whom he called, them he also what? Justified. Just as if they didn't do it. And whom he justified, he also what? Glorified. That's why he says, I'm going to present myself a glorious church. Because everybody in there has surrendered their life to me. I know who they are. I've given them my glory, so when they step out, what else can I get back but a glorious church?
Well,
That's what the book says. Isn't that good? I'm excited tonight. Nobody else is me. Lord have mercy. That's what he wants. Him. He said, whom he justified, them he also glorified.
yes, sir.
Do you see the beauty of God's word? Help me somebody.
Yes.
What shall we then say to these things? If God before us,
Yes, Lord.
who can be against
Who
us?
can be against us?
Then you become symbolically just like that 1-year-old spotted lamb. And you're just as clean, and God views you that way. Hebrews 9, I'm almost finished for the day. I want to lay this background. Then we might do a few verses over there. Hebrews 9, 13 and 14. You have to understand, when he gives you that glory, it's just Shekinah glory.
Yes,
That
sir.
comes upon you. There's a brightness of your inner man and outer man. That means God sees you the same way he sees his son Jesus. Woo. Now look at this. This settles it right here, though. It says, for if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of a heifer, sprinkling the unclean sanctifieth to the purifying of the flesh. At that time, it had to be done over and 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 over. Even if you were the priest, when you went into the holies of holies, they had to tie a rope on your leg, because if you drop dead in there, nobody could go in there and get you. They'd pull you out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, help me somebody. Now listen, how much more
How much?
shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself, but how did he offer himself? Y'all scared to read out loud?
Without spot to God.
If you say you're a Christian, I mean, when you get ready, your time comes, you're supposed to be just as spotless as he is.
Well,
And you can do that by the blood of the Lamb. Without spot to God, purge yourself, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. I declare, if you want some excuses, just come to the church house. Just come to the church house. But now, if what I want to see is happening, we'll go anywhere we want to go. But now you got to be careful now where you letting them feet run off to. He didn't tell you that. 1 Peter 1:9. So you keep in mind what God has said. I don't want you with spots. I made provision that you should not have any spots, so that you can present. Even better than that, I got my son sitting on the right hand of me. What is he doing? Making intercessions for you. 1 Peter 1:19. So there's no doubt about it. You don't have to worry about anything. But with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb, without what? Blemish and without spot. That's all he's ever asked us to do, is that we begin to read his word. Because a lot of folks thinking, because I went to the nightclub and got drunk, now that ain't the best thing to do. But that's not necessarily sin.
no, sir.
God already done paid for that. I said, God done paid for that. There's nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing you're going to do that God has not already seen. So what are we dealing? We're dealing with the fact that God said, I wrote you a love letter. Have you not read it? Or you just one of them folks that love to rush around everywhere and don't do nothing? But now 1 Timothy 6:4 says, I didn't write this church. If you don't want no spots and wrinkles, that thou shalt keep this commandment. Listen at this. How you going to do it? Without spot. How can you keep something you never read? You never pay attention in church. That's the only time you get sleeping. That's the only time you worry about watching your watch.